Hi there. Hey, are you retired or near retirement? So talking to baby boomers and Generation X, and you're thinking and wondering if you have enough money to actually retire? Well, I want to share some information with you, and I'm going to start out with a quote here. Pew Research. They say that only a quarter, or 26%, of Americans are confident they'll have enough for retirement. Another tidbit of information from Forbes that I want to share with you. By age 60, you should have 11 times your salary to stay on pace to retire at age 67. So if you make $80,000 a year, you should have saved 80,000 times 11 is $880,000 that you have saved by age 60. And this is to retire at age 67. So if you want to actually retire at age 60, you need to have more than that. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I think this is a very interesting conversation to have. Most Americans are not ready for retirement, and we need to talk about it. We need to make a plan. So I want to share a few more stats with you, and then I want to give you 6 simple tips or steps, takeaways that you can think about and implement. Vanguard, they report fewer than half of Americans are on track to maintain their current standard of living after retirement. So if you think about your current standard of living, how you're living, and then after you retire, half of us, that standard of living is going to drop. Are you okay with that? Forbes. I have a Forbes article. Only 30% of Americans think they're ready for retirement, and this is according to a new report from an investment management company. They shared results from a 2025 survey of investors. Respondents to this survey said they needed to save $1.28 million to retire comfortably. But a majority of those surveyed didn't even come close to this figure. Out of those who were polled, 30% expected to have saved enough by retirement. So that means 70% of investors who are already investing won't hit that target. Overall, I think it's pretty safe to say that a lot of Americans, more than half of Americans, do not have a sure footing when they're stepping into retirement. I want to give you 6 quick tips, and I'll just walk through these very quickly. First tip now is you need to start at a baseline. So you need to know what's my income, what are my expenses, and what am I saving? So write it down, figure it out, take the time, because that's where you've got to start. Second tip, you need to save something. Even if you feel like things are so tight and you just don't have it, 1%. You've got to save something, and it doesn't matter what age you are. You know, if you're 18 or if you're 55, you've got to be putting money aside. Third tip, capture free money. So what do I mean by this? If you work for a company that offers a 401k and they have a match, you should be jumping all over that and maxing it out. The company that I worked for did a 3 to 5% match. So at a minimum, everyone at the company should be putting in 5% because the company matches 5%. It's free money. Another example of capturing free money would be often states do rebates or refunds. You know, it could be property tax, taxes, but in order to get that money, you have to go online and fill out some kind of an application. People are lazy. People don't want to do that. But again, free money. It was your money to begin with, but they're going to give it back to you if you fill out the application. So capturing free money. Fourth tip, consider investing. And this is a full disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor in any sense. I just know that there are enough free resources out there that are beginner friendly, and I personally invest, and I think it's a smart thing to do with your money, my opinion. But if you haven't or you aren't involved in investing, it's probably something you should look into. Fifth tip, tighten up everyday spending. So what do I mean by this? People have reoccurring charges and they don't even know that they have them. So if you were to pull out your credit card statement and your bank statement and look down at every single charge, do you recognize them? How many streaming services are you subscribed to? And are you using them? So tighten up what you're spending, and it means digging in and seeing where exactly your money's going. The sixth tip is my favorite. It is creating income options outside of your normal 9 to 5. So what do I mean by this? Obviously, the first thing would be get a part-time job. So some people are going to feel like, I already work, 40, 50 plus hours a week. I don't have time for a part-time job. Or if you're retired, you might not want to come out of retirement. But if you don't have the money, you might not have a choice. Second example is skills-based side income. So what do I mean by that? We are Generation X, we're baby boomers, we've lived for 30 plus years, and we've got that working experience behind us. So we've got skills that we can bring as a consultant. If you've been in HR, you could be an HR consultant. If you've got bookkeeping experience, you could be a bookkeeping consultant, and you get to pick and choose then who you want to work for and the hours that you want to work. Another easy way to bring in additional income. So the third example is digital or online income. So people hear that word digital and they're like, what? So a digital product is something that is created once and then it's basically delivered online. It's not a physical product. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of types of digital products or digital ways that you can earn money online. So the first one is content-based. So I'm going to go back to that. We have years of experience. So open up a YouTube channel, start a website or a blog, and you talk about your years of experience, or you write about your years of experience. And if you bring enough value, people will pay you for that value. The second type of online income is affiliate and affiliate income. This is basically where Amazon's a great example for this. Amazon has an affiliate program, and if you are talking about one of their products or you feature a product, you use a product in your daily life, think of everything that Amazon sells. We all use something that Amazon sells. You can get a link and put it in your description wherever you're talking about that product. And if somebody clicks on that link and somebody buys, then you could earn a commission, a percentage. So that's another easy way. If I was doing that today, I would talk about this selfie stick. Just an example. Third example is digital products. So digital products can be products that you make or products that are pre-made for you. And to give you some examples of this, let's go back to Amazon. Let's say you want to buy a book, and you go and you look up your book and you're checking out, and you see that you can buy it hardcover, softcover, or you can download it. That is a digital product. And I can tell you that everyday people are writing books and selling them on Amazon. You don't have to be a famous author. Another example would be if you wanted to create any type of a planner or a tracker, something that people would find value in that they simply download and they're not having to create from scratch. Another example, online courses. These can be courses that you create or courses that are pre-made that you're simply selling. Workshops. You have a 2-day workshop on something because heck, we all are skilled in something. We have life experience. You deliver value. People pay for the workshop, but then you also package it and resell it because it's online. So those are just some examples. of different ways to earn income. Me, personally, I've got a blueprint linked below. I do a beginner-friendly, done-for-you digital program, and that is how I earn additional income. If you're interested in seeing what I do, go ahead and click on that link. Otherwise, I think the bottom line, Americans, the vast majority of Americans are not ready for retirement. So I want to encourage you to step into something and take action, and happy savings.